Okay, thank you for joining me. This is Robert Newman. I'm a real estate online marketing expert out of California. And this is the second segment or module in my Learning Real Estate SEO series. All right, I'm considering this a basic level tutorial. And this section is going to be about keywords, understanding them, understanding how Google recognizes them, how you're supposed to be discovering your own keywords, how to identify how difficult it would be to achieve a first place result for a keyword that you're targeting, understanding what your competition is doing in terms of targeting a keyword, and based on all of this information, finally deciding what the best keywords are for you to target. And again, what we do with those keywords in terms of targeting is going to be in other modules. This module is just about keywords. All right. Once again, I'm going to be relying upon my tool Ahrefs. In other versions of this tutorial or in the description below, you'll find links to other tools that you can use. And when I say other versions, I'm probably going to upload this series of tutorials to Udemy, which is a place where you pay. And what I'll be doing there is I'll be adding a lot of support links to other tools that you can use to use keyword research and things like that, because Ahrefs costs $99. I am not selling their tool, I'm just using it. But for the sake of this tutorial, it's going to make it very easy and very fast for me to explain keywords, and that's how I'm going to use it. So Ahrefs has a keyword explorer in it. We're going to use Denver real estate as our example. So this is a keyword. If you don't understand what a keyword is, you really need to actually go ahead and go to Moz and read through their basic SEO beginner's guide and then come back to this. I consider this to be very basic, but if you don't even understand what the terminology is, then you need to go someplace else, learn the terminology, and come back and turn this tutorial on. All right, so we do Denver real estate. And my tool here tells me in general how much the search volume is, how many clicks there are, how many of those clicks are going to paid search results, and how many are going to organic. So organic, in terms of terminology, is anything that is, so if I do the search here, it's surprising, I'm not seeing any paid results. So there would be something that would say ad. So I do Denver real estate, and apparently I get no paid search results, which makes no sense whatsoever to me, but whatever. All right, so anything that doesn't say paid is considered organic. All right, so we go back here. So for this keyword term, Denver real estate, these are the top 10 search results. Now, why am I looking at them in this tool as opposed to looking at them here in Google? Well, this is going to show me how much traffic somebody is getting for that particular keyword. In this case, it's 23,587 visitors for a #1 spot. And then number 2 is 5,000, number 3 is 4,000, and it drops and changes here and there. But when you're doing keyword research, certainly one of the things that you want to understand in general is how competitive the keyword is, how much traffic there is associated with it, and how capable do you feel that you are to build a better informational page than whatever's out there. Now, Zillow and Realtor.com and Trulia are going to run across this all the time. They're not actually built, they have great informational pages, but they are actually all producing a similar page. This is what a page on Zillow looks like. Now it has pricing, it has a map, it has probably a walkthrough score somewhere down on the page, and it has information that connects you to realtors. In general, this is a very informationally based page, and it's a good page. However, if you wanted to learn something about the community, you are absolutely positively not going to be doing it on this page. Okay, and that's where keyword research and SEO comes in. There's plenty of space to write a page on this topic that is informational, tells you something about the community or the city that you cannot find on this page. Now, will you beat Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com? No, probably not. So this is where keyword research really starts to shine through. One of the things that you need to decide early on, if you're working in a big city and you're at the agent level, is you need to decide what geo-specific area you work. If you're a broker, you need to decide what areas that you work. And please, I deal with many brokerages in Denver. There's very few that target each and every single segment of the city. Okay, they would like to, but they don't specialize in all those areas. Most people are like Lohi or the Highlands or Applewood or any of the many other communities that are there. They have a few that they do more business in than others, and those are the ones that you should be targeting for keyword research. So, having said that, let's just pretend that you've now decided on your geo-specific area that you're going to target. And let's redo this search. So now it's Denver Highlands real estate is what we're going to do. Okay, so now when you're looking at this keyword, there's a few things that we need to understand. So targeting keywords these days is an extremely important part of the SEO process. We've now identified a keyword that has a volume of search, and I'm going to explain this a little bit because keywords have changed a lot in the last few years. You're not just going for the Highlands Denver, and you're not going for Denver Highlands. If you write a good page on this general topic, which is the Highlands in Denver, Colorado, you will probably rank not for one keyword, but a whole group that Google is associating with the primary keyword. That's why when you look at this volume, 900, and it says the traffic potential is 800, this tool is assuming that you've written a great page on this area in general and that you're actually probably going to rank for maybe 191 other terms or 100 other terms. And so all related to the Denver Highlands. But what we have to do is decide what the parent keyword is going to be. For you as a real estate agent, we really need to make very certain that you have taken a lot of time to understand what your geo-specific target's going to be. It relates very strongly to keywords. Okay, so this map's showing you what Google considers to be the Denver Highlands. And they're going to associate keywords that have to do with this area. Now, it's a very small area, but I happen to deal with a couple of different companies that target this area, and there's easily $50 to $100 million worth of real estate transactions that happen in this area, and my clients would be very happy with just getting 80 to 90% of those transactions in this one city. So, again, keyword targeting becomes really important. Now, this is a fine keyword target, Denver Highlands real estate. Why do I say that? Let's talk about keyword difficulty. For the sake of this tutorial, and I'm going to be making the assumption that you're using Ahrefs, you need to be targeting keywords that have a difficulty of 1 to 3. What does keyword difficulty mean using this tool? So there's something that is called a backlink. A backlink is when other websites reference your website. Okay, they put your URL on their website. Now, I will be covering that topic in depth later. This score, though, is based on how many websites will have to use your page. Not your website, but the page that we're building that will cover this topic. How many people are referencing that page? In this case, a 0 through a 3, which you're going to find is really common in real estate, is exactly what we want. Okay, because that means that nobody has to be referencing your page. If we just make a really good page of content and you build it the way that I tell you to build it, there's a very good chance that you're going to rank on the first page, get traffic back for this keyword term and all the associated terms. And hey, if we do a really good page and you reference even 1 or 2 sites to that page, you're probably going to be number 1. And you're going to get all 800 of these potential visitors to your site. And that right there is a business. Okay, if you're a broker, it's not that much. But if you do this city by city for all your geo-specific targets, you're going to be a very happy broker. All right, so we've identified a decent keyword target, all right? But we're not done, okay? So we found a reasonably good keyword target. There are other people that have pages that are ranking for this particular keyword target. Okay, here's where a lot of real estate agents make a mistake. They see these pages and they assume they cannot beat them. And there is some truth to that. In terms of keyword targeting, you need to understand a little bit more about this tool that we're using. I'm going to keep it really basic. This UR is a score from 0 to 100, as is the DR. Now that's a domain rank and a URL rank. The URL is where the page actually lies, and the domain is the parent domain. Now here's the funny thing. Google scores every page it ever looks at. We're just going to make this really easy and say it's a score from 0 to 100. When you refer to another page off a page that has a high score, some of that score bleeds over to that other page. It's a vote. The more votes you have, the better that you'll do, and the more credibility the voting page has, the better that the referring page is going to do. So we have no other websites that have voted for this page on Zillow. None. That would be under here, under backlinks. There's 0. But because they have a very strong home page and they've referred to this particular page, they have a URL score of 13. URL scores work from 0 to 100. All right, 100's the best, 0's the worst. So you don't know this yet, but 13 is an okay score in real estate. In most other industries, it would be much higher. In real estate, the competition is always very low. So we're looking at these scores, and we're going to understand that even though that this says 0, we might have to build 1 or 2 referrals into this page to get it ranked. But the good news is that's it. It's not incredibly high. And here's an important thing. When you're choosing a keyword, you need to look at all of these sites. What are you looking for? Let's open up a few of them and I'll explain. Google is going to measure how long somebody arrives at this page. The kind of page that you can produce is this kind of page right here, because it's going to be informational and you're probably going to be putting it on a WordPress website. So it's going to have text, it might have some listings, and it's going to have information on the community. Now this page is okay. I would actually go so far as to say I feel it's not that great. And why would I say it's not that great? Because there's not a lot of data that anybody that is into like a 15-year-old can't find on Wikipedia in 2 seconds. And the fact that real estate companies keep letting people put pages like this on their website is ridiculous to me. There's only one reason why a page like this should go on your website, and that's if you're trying to build value for another page. In other words, you want to create some of these internal referrals I was just talking about, where you're going to build up the page value and then basically add a vote from your own site. But this page should never exist on this website, because there's very little value to it as a user. There's only one thing that's valuable on this entire page, and that is this video, which is about 30 seconds in actual data long, and it's good. And that's probably why this site is ranking at all, is that one 30-second video that's on the bottom of the page. Now here is a great SEO page. Okay, honestly, my team wrote it, so please bear that in mind. It's a blatant plug. However, I want to illustrate what the difference is. So a good page of information is going to have many either image-based or video-based examples of the types of property that you're going to find. You're going to find lots of information that's extremely specific, not just the stuff that you can find on Wikipedia, but a lot of data on the page about the area that you're looking at. These images are going to have what's called alt image optimization on them, and I'm going to teach you how to do all of this. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to write the page, how to research the page, how to do the images, but look at the difference between this page and this page. I promise you, if you're moving in out of the city into this area, this is the kind of page that you're going to read. And it's breaking the area down into its micro parts. Okay, and what do I mean by that? So we look at Highlands, and now there's Highland Park, there's a school, there's little areas within the area itself that really only locals will probably know. However, if you write a page, one, there's a lot of little teeny tiny keywords that you don't even realize that Google would target. Maybe only get one search a month and they're going to come into this particular page. And number two, the people that are local, so anybody coming in from out of town is going to look at this page and they're going to find it interesting because they are going to find general information on it. Anybody that lives inside the town is going to understand that you're an expert on this area, that you are a truly knowledgeable resource. How does that play back into all of this? You're going to make a completely different kind of page than is available with any of these other services. Now, let's take a look at another one. So again, you have another page with, what, 150 words on it, maybe, that is incredibly general that honestly, anybody with Wikipedia could do a better job in. So these are your top local brokerages. These are your national companies. And you're still checking them for keywords. Now, the last piece of this puzzle is as follows. You need to have an understanding of, can you write better pages than this? If the answer is yes, if you think you can produce a better piece of information than what we're looking at, then that's a keyword that you should and could target. And guess what? I'm going to teach you how to make better pages than this, and how to get attention drawn to those pages. So even if you're looking at this all right now and going, oh, I don't know if I can do all of that, the exciting part is I'm going to teach you the rest. So the last thing that we want to understand about keyword research is that I've just found and targeted a keyword really fast, all right? There's other elements of keyword exploration. You probably want to do a few other keywords just to make sure that you've got a good one. So Denver, Applewood, Colorado, that's just another community inside of Denver. So we're going to do a search. Mind you, I haven't added real estate in here. So that one is, so we already can see that the search volume is less, the keyword difficulty is the same, but we want to go through this exercise 5 or 6 times, 8 or 9, 10 times. You want to make sure that for your geo-specific areas that you target, that you understand, like if everything is keyword difficulty 0, then we want to find the keyword that has the most volume in the area that you're in. Now, I am cheating. I know this area like the back of my hand. So I already know that we've really already found one of the best keyword targets. But there is one other that's good. Denver, downtown, Colorado real estate. Actually, let's just go downtown real estate. Now look at this. Denver downtown has a keyword difficulty of 4 and only a search volume of 60. Okay? So for far less search volume, you'd have to spend far more effort. So hopefully Denver downtown wouldn't be your geo-specific target. Because if all you're doing is condos or high-rises or lofts or anything like that inside the Denver downtown area, you're looking at a steeper competition keyword right out of the gate. Now, there's still tricks that you can do in terms of keyword research, like researching buildings. So I put in Denver high-rises. Here's a site that specializes in Denver high-rises. And now here's another trick that you can use when you're using Ahrefs as a tool. We can actually enter in a URL. sorry, that's not going to do us any good. So they're actually part of a larger site, and that site is getting a lot of keywords or a lot of traffic, but it's not actually, they just have the Denver part of that. So let's look at the exact URL. Let's find out how much traffic is coming into this particular page. So it doesn't appear to be giving him any traffic, so that was no good. So Denver Condomania seems like a good page to do this trick with. Okay, we've got some organic traffic. Now we do top pages. And through this, we can take a look at a lot of keywords that are associated with this particular URL and how much volume they have, how much keywords, and what the difficulty is. So this is a very fast way to also do keyword research. Another way to do it would be to take like a site like this, basically your competitors' websites. If you have a tool like this, again, I cannot emphasize enough how much time this saves you. You can just do this, do top pages, we want to do the domain. So I actually messed that search up, but because I was doing the exact URL, which is liveurban.com. So this is the domain. This is the entire domain. Okay, so now we get to see how much traffic is coming in, what their top keyword for that particular page is, how much search volume is connected to it, what position they have, like where are they ranked. And now we could just real quickly, this KD is keyword difficulty. So you can see that it's a 6. So we already know that that's 6 backlinks. That is not as good as our Denver Highlands real estate keyword. All right. There are some zeros on here, and you could reverse engineer those using this tool to keep doing basically keyword research. And I strongly recommend that you don't cut any corners. I am not going to spend 2 or 3 hours running through this tutorial with you on this part of it, but I do suggest that you really find all your competitors, look at all their pages. You're looking for anything that says 0 that has a decent amount of traffic associated with it. Denver, Colorado real estate agent, that's a surprisingly valuable keyword. It only has 300 people, but it's got a keyword difficulty of 0, and we could write an expose on finding the best real estate agent inside Denver, and that would allow us to target Denver, Colorado real estate agent. Or we could just say like Denver CO real estate agent would be a great keyword, and I'll explain how we target that keyword correctly inside of content in the content creation part of these tutorials. You should have a list of 3 to 5 keywords when you're done. Now, a keyword is really going to end up being an article. So, like, you're going to write a page about a keyword. So when you do find something that's good, you're really committing to 3 or 4 keywords at a minimum. And honestly, in terms of content strategy, I oftentimes go out 6 months. So I understand long in advance what kind of content I'm putting on my site, why I'm putting it on my site. This does take a little while, but forcing yourself to think about keyword targeting and where you want to go in terms of your website is an extremely valuable exercise. Getting out ahead of your planning curve, understanding where your resources are going to go. Like if you're hiring somebody to do some of the work that's going to come next, then it's important to understand how long do you want to take. Like if you want to target, let's call it 3 or 4 neighborhoods, do you want to go for both the buyer side and the seller side? because what we're doing when we're creating a keyword that says Denver Highlands real estate is, for the most part, that's going to be people looking to buy a home, not sell a home. So we're going to go for sales keywords. It's going to be something completely different. How to value your home, how to improve your home. The set of keywords that you go if you're interested in attracting sellers is completely different than the keywords if you're interested in buying buyers. So thinking through your keywords and what you're going to do in terms of content creation is extremely important. So I recommend that you, at a minimum, find 3 to 5, and at a maximum, you can literally look at your entire geo-specific area, decide, do I want both buyers and sellers leads, and then look up all the relevant keywords, which could be as many as a couple hundred, and basically put them in an Excel spreadsheet and keep them there and understand, checkbox them off as you've targeted them and put them on your site. So in other words, part of what I'm going to teach you how to do, or at least I'm going to explain the concept to you, is creating processes. Now that's very deep in this tutorial cycle, but right now you do need to understand that keywords can be and maybe even should be associated with the process. And really, I think it's just going to depend on, are you an agent or are you a broker? If you're a broker, you need a business plan and you need a digital marketing plan stat. And I'm giving you the first step in your digital marketing plan, understanding the keywords that are associated with the geospecific areas that your brokerage targets. And hopefully you've already got that and you're just tapping your foot waiting for me to get to the next section of this tutorial, which is going to be creating content. Now, this is a huge topic. It goes into usability, site speed. I'm combining things and basically turning content creation into one big topic, because Google kind of looks at content digestion and content impact all as one topic now. So when somebody hits the page, how long do they stay on the page? How many other pages to the site did they go on? Google tracks all this information, and they've increased the amount of relevance that this has tremendously. So how fast the site operates, this all impacts the user experience, and the user experience is like 20% of your SEO score these days. So it's a really big factor in terms of how does Google rank these pages. So that's our next topic. It's content, user experience, content creation, all of those things combined. I hope you enjoyed this section, which was keywords, keyword research, and keyword use.